For section 2, we're going to talk about annuity and perpetuities. Okay. So let's look at the first question. So suppose you just won the lottery based on the following assumptions. What is the present value of your winning? The annual payment is $100,000, and you're going to receive this annual payment for 25 years, and the interest rate is 11%. So this is the question that we talk about when we are talking about the payment, right? So let's go to the PV function here. If I click PV equals sign PV, the rate is 11%. The number of periods will be 25%. And here, when we talk about simple present value, future value, we say there's no payment, there's nothing in between. We're going to ignore this payment. But in this case, if you look at this question, you will receive $100,000 every year. So from the beginning to the end, you will keep receiving this $100,000. We call this kind of a cash flow payment, right? Here, we start to have the payment. And the future value, in this case, because we're going to get the annual payment every year, so we don't actually have a future value. You can either leave it blank or 0. Okay. The type here, for in this case, because you're going to receive the payment at the end of the year, so we leave it blank. We're going to talk about like when do we deal with this type later, right? So one thing that we want to notice is the payment. We want to put a negative sign in order to get a positive sign for the present value. So just click OK here. So the present value for this lottery is $42,170.47. All right. So let's look at the next question. In this question, we want to find the annuity payment, right? So if you want to buy something, the purchase price is $175,000, and you want to make the payment for 240 months, right? Which is 20 years, right? And the monthly interest rate is 0.5%. What will be your monthly payment? What would be the monthly payment? So we, in this case, can use a function. We call this payment function, PMT, right? If we click here and we choose the information for each one of them, the rate is E4. The number of periods will be 240. Present value. So notice here we have the purchase price, which we're making the payment today. So this will be considered as the purchase price, right? So in order to get a positive payment, we want to put a negative sign for the purchase price. Again, future value, you can say this is 0 or leave it blank, right? Because we're going to pay off this purchase price at the end of this 200 month. Leave it blank for type as well. If we do this, we got the monthly payment will be $1,253.75. So the next thing is about the interest, right? Interest rate. Let's say we have our retirement goal is 1.5 million, right? We want to save our money 3,000 per year, and the number of years to save is 35 years. Right? If this is our goal, what is the interest rate necessary for us to reach the goal? Again, if you remember, we have a rate function. Number of period will be 35. And payment, I put a negative sign here, 3,000, comma, present value will be, remember here, the retirement goal is what we want to have in the future. So this is our future value. Present value, we don't have anything to start with at the very beginning. So we can put a comma here, and E71 will be our future value. If we close this one, so that tells us the interest rate will be 12.62%. 12.62%.